bulls worldwide. Just my switch big eyes. Texas started that vibe. Samba movement never dies. Brazil to the world we go. Heavy dog, strong flow. Say hello, Kumano, they know. This wave came and won't go. Brazilian bulls on the scene. Clean, solid, supreme. Not excels, different breed. Came to add, that's the speed. Samba style in the air. Worldwide bullet fair. 22 started the flame. Now the who knows the name. Brazilian bulls worldwide. Seen them on the 20 big rise. Texas started that vibe. Samba movement stays for life.
Good evening, everyone. Hi, Samba family. How is everybody doing tonight?
Good.
Awesome.
We're good. Glad to be here. Good to see everybody.
Good to see you guys too. I'm so happy you guys are back here. It's crazy how fast the live the week goes by, right?
Yes,
it's
absolutely.
Almost like it was just like the other day, yesterday that we were here, and here we are again, 1 week after the other. The Samba Family Live is back, and thank you guys for joining us. Everybody that's here, we're already getting some comments. Everybody here present and YouTube and Facebook, and I am trying to see. Hey, Samba family, can you guys please check if we're live on Instagram too? Because I don't see it.
Not yet.
I mean, my page is, but I don't know if yours is.
Okay, let me check. Let me double check here. 1 second, please. Connect streaming software to go live. Hey guys, just give us 1 more minute so we can connect to Instagram. This way we are sure that everybody's here, okay? How is everybody doing tonight? How are you, Tony and Didi? What do you guys have going on at Samba Red River?
What they say, overworked and underpaid. It's just been busy. Busy as always. Thankfully, though. Thankfully, it's all been going good. The heat's caught up with us, and it's summertime.
Yeah, it's been really hot here.
You said you have a paint shop?
Yes, a body shop, and then
body shop.
Auto glass.
Do you have air conditioning there?
Just in the office.
Okay.
Just for the secretary.
Ooh, must be. Okay, I think we're on now. On Instagram too. Hey Vito, how was your week? What have you been doing?
Good. I've been on poodle patrol. I think it's been a week and a half. I forget when he told me he was coming back, but I can't wait. I love them, but they're just 2 extra dogs in my house to take care of.
The poodles? The standard poodles?
I tried to brush them yesterday. I'm like, gee, this is a lot of work, man.
You can't really brush them. Their hair is not this. It's different. It's almost like you have to poop it, like a little old lady's hair.
Yeah, you need a pick.
Medium length, but the male, he's almost got like Rastafarian dreads. They're so long.
Poor guy.
I should shave them. My friend will probably have a heart attack.
I have no idea.
Samba Kennels. I'm just writing on Instagram. Hey everyone. Oh, there's somebody sending me fingers here. That's blocking right now.
We got a whole bunch of them.
Yeah, he's happy. He's
fingers in an envelope.
The middle fingers.
Oh,
that's a happy person right there.
Like 14 of them.
God bless you.
He wants us to know we're number one.
God bless you too, brother.
That's called the California wave.
And how are you, beautiful Lauren?
good.
How was your week?
Also busy. It has been crazy because Devin's leaving tomorrow to go back for 2 years. So we've just been trying to spend as much time with him as possible.
Really?
Mhm.
Are you back in the office now?
I mean, no.
No, I wasn't for
I
sure.
I am, but I'm not. You know what I mean? Like the last couple today and tomorrow, I'll be here at the house, and then I was at the office Monday through Wednesday. I was at the office. It's an hour drive, and the kids aren't going to school right now, so I kind of
Well,
just
isn't that nice? Manuela is out too, and feels like vacation, you know?
yes.
So Devin is gone already.
No, tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah, tomorrow's Friday. That's right.
Yeah.
Right. Sorry, you just said I was focused here. That's why I wasn't paying attention.
No, you're good. He's leaving tomorrow. He gets on an airplane tomorrow.
Aw, how's the heart?
It's gonna be really sad. Not ready for it, but that's all right.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Just a second, you guys. I'm trying to do something here. As you probably know, there's a lot of buttons for me to deal with here.
Has anybody heard from Oscar? Is he?
Oscar, no. Can anybody send him a message, see if he's coming? We can
I will.
probably wait. If not, I want to say hi to everybody joining us tonight, June 11, 2026, the Samba Family Live. Tonight, we're going to be talking to you, sitting on the other side of the screen. I think it's very important to hear you guys, to connect to each one of you. At the end of the day, it's because of you that we are here. You know, I'm sure that everyone here loves the dogs, whether it's the XL American Bullies or whether it's the Brazilian Bulls. We're all here connected for the same passion. And thank goodness that we have internet and we have this opportunity to live in an era that we can communicate so easily. Because when I started, we didn't have the possibility of passing along information so easy, you know. It would have been very nice if I had that opportunity, but unfortunately, I didn't. So take advantage of these channels of education that we open for you guys, because this is for networking, but it's for education. It's for especially for us to connect with you guys, to ask questions, for you to understand more about the breed that you love, you know, and everybody that is interested in becoming a dog breeder or becoming a puppy owner of the breed that we are involved, which is the Brazilian Bulls, or these beautiful dogs here behind me. I'm sure most of you know at least one of them, or two, or all of them. This breed that has been shaking waves literally in any country where there is dog breeders. Everybody's talking about the Brazilian Bulls. It's not just here. It's not just in Brazil. It is not just in America. It's all over the world. I have been having a lot of breeders from other countries wanting to import our dogs, and also to start programs, even like breeders that are not just a second, because I lost you guys again, that are not Brazilian Bull breeders. They have other breeds, but they want to start. So I think it's very important, this channel of information, having the YouTube lives, the Facebook lives, where we can share information and answer questions for you. And this is why I decided to put together a live every once in a while. We're going to be here answering questions about all segments of dog breeding or dogs in general, as much as we can. Again, nobody here is better than anyone. We just have some more experience than most people in some areas. So I have more experience than most people in some areas, and that's why I'm here. Vito has a lot of experience in other areas. So does Tony and Didi and Lauren the same way. And I'm sure that you guys sitting on the other side of the screen have a lot to share with us too, because everyone has some kind of knowledge to share, and we're here to not only to share this knowledge, but also to learn with you. But anything that you have questions, because I do have a lot of questions, and all of the Samba family, they always get a lot of messages from our beautiful friends and audience and clients. And sometimes we don't have the time to dedicate to kindly explain. And many times I even try to educate my friends and my clients that call me, or just people that call me asking me questions. But it would be so much better if we could answer these questions on a live and leave it publicly, because sometimes your question is somebody else's question. So here we are. And I lost my Instagram page. That's why I'm here looking like crazy, looking for the Instagram page. I can't see it anymore. So bear with me. Oh boy. Anybody contacted Oscar?
We sent him a message.
Yeah, we sent him a message.
Okay. All righty. I lost Instagram, you guys. Jeez, I feel crazy right now. Let me see. It shows that I'm live, but I don't see it.
Yeah, you're live.
Yes.
It's live. It's live on Lauren's.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I found it, because I have two screens, and I have the main screen with the YouTube, and then the little screen with Instagram. Okay, there we go. Hey, everyone. I want to start reading some questions here and saying good evening to everybody that's joining us. Of course, the first message had to be from Old School Nick. Hey, Old School Nick, how are you? Happy Thursday, Samba family crew. Always look forward to these live chats with you all. You definitely bring the passion and excitement and Brazilian bull knowledge. That is so sweet of you. Thank you so much for your kind words. Thank you so much for always being here with us. And I hope that we can serve you guys in the best way possible when it comes to the breed, okay? Let's see. Can't wait to see and hear from the team. Chris Gaiman. Hello, Chris. Thank you so much. We're here for you. Bully World Bullies. Hello, everyone. Hello. Thank you for being here. Fuerza American Bulldogs. Another person that's always present with us from Oregon. I'm happy to have caught up this live unexpected. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for here. Hello from Brian in Maryland. Hey, Brian from Bouchard Bullies. Hey, everyone, follow Bouchard Bullies. Brian is here present. He is saying hi from Maryland. Oscar Mancha, hello, Samba family. Like 3 lives without being here. That's true. What's going on? Are you busy, Oscar? Thank you for being here. Duro Ricio Bully Camp. Everybody follow Duro Ricio Bully Camp on YouTube. Thank you for being here, Duro. Hey, Ish. We have Ish here from the Sumo family. Hello, Samba family. Hope all is well. Thank you, Ismail. We are great. Great to see you here. We have a lot of people present tonight. Hello, Samba family. Motel Creed. How are you doing? Nice to see you here, Motel. Yes, hello, Samba family. That's them again, the Bully World Bullies. Hello, chat, everyone. Having a great evening. Yes, we sure are. It's pretty hot here in Texas. I don't know. I think it's been hot in a lot of places from what we were talking before the live. It's pretty hot there too, isn't it, Vito?
Yeah, 90s, but it's not that humid compared to what it will be.
Mm-hmm.
It gets real humid here, but this year's been good so far.
Justin Carey, Bayside Kennels here. Hello, Justin. Thanks for joining us. Everybody on Facebook, go follow Justin Carey, Bayside Kennels. He is present here and are live and watching. Alfonso Duron, Hello, everyone. Hello, Alfonso. Thank you for being here. I would like to hear from the team about nutrition. What do you feed and why? Okay, let's start the question. The questions open to the public, and this is another thing that I wanted to say. Exactly because of this, a lot of people ask us questions that we sometimes don't have time to um, to share answers. So I open this channel for you guys every once a month. I'm gonna try to make a frequently ask questions to the public and everybody on Instagram. Please remember, this is also live on YouTube, and it's better for us to read the questions on YouTube. So if you don't mind jumping on YouTube and typing Samba Kennels, and you're gonna see our channel, subscribe and make your question. We're gonna be happy to answer, okay? Ask your question and we will be answering. So about nutrition, is there any specific question that you want to ask us, Mota, or is just what we feed? I feed usually kibble. I used to feed a lot of raw, and I love it. I absolutely love it, but it's a lot of work. And here in Texas, in the summertime, it's impossible to deal with raw. I have too many flies. I live in a ranch, and for me to prepare the food, I would have to prepare it here, take it to the kennels, and it's just the logistics is not very it's not very good. But for the dogs, if you can, I would definitely recommend the raw feeding, as long as it's balanced, because raw feeding does not provide all the essential minerals and nutrients that a dog needs. And we're talking professional breeding. So in professional breeding, you want to make sure that you have the dogs, especially the ones that are active in reproduction, you want to make sure that they have a very well balanced nutrition. And the kibble usually is very balanced. It's being studied to provide all that to the dogs. But as we know, also comes with a lot of bad things like the preservatives and the chemicals and all of that. So, it's a scale. There's positives and bad things about it. It's practical. This world made everything practical for us. The dog industry, the dog feed industry for me is basically like, hey, I give you practicity, I give you the easy way, but then you have to pay a higher bill at the end of the dog's life, because there's going to be things with it at the end. Unfortunately, after this boom of dog kibble, that's when we started seeing dogs living less and having more problems health-wise, including cancer. I don't want to say anything here because who am I to say, but it's just facts. And nowadays, time is money, time is rare. So most people do kibble. I think that most breeders do kibble. It's very difficult to maintain 20, 25, 30, 35 dogs on only raw, unless you have help, and which I don't. But I definitely would love to. And when I do downsize, which I'm going to, I will probably go back to raw, because it's the difference in the dogs is crazy. Like the coats, and just the way they eat, it's so much more palatable for them. It's so much more natural. It's healthier, So what I do now, I do kibble. What I would love to do now would be raw. Do you agree, Tony and Didi?
Yes, we actually do both. So we do kibble, and then we also feed raw. We either make our own with chicken quarters. We
Cheers.
grind them, and we add carrots and sweet potatoes and sauerkraut. Sauerkraut's really good for them. Sometimes we'll put a few beets in there, blueberries, and then we actually bag it up, put it in quart-sized bags, and then freeze it. And we have a deep freeze, and we just pull it out as we need it. But then we also have a meat market here, and they actually grind us all their the organ meat for us and bag it for us, and then we just go pick it up. So we do that. And then of course we do the new vet, and the new vet joint, salmon oil, coconut oil, just whatever, you know. We just kind of throw stuff in there, boiled eggs, cottage cheese, yogurt. Um,
How many
we don't
dogs do you have?
all at one time, but you know, we kind of mix it up a little bit. And then there's days that we just feed them just kibble. So we kind of, you know, switch it up a bit. That way they don't get too comfortable at just eating one thing. I think
And
dogs.
how many dogs do you have?
How many dogs do we have?
Yeah.
We have 7.
It's
We
a
have
little
7.
easier when you have 7, right?
Yes, yeah. I can't imagine having 20, you know, but
I've got 25 right now here.
yeah, no, I can't. No, no. I think I would probably just do kibble, and kibble too, and not just with that, but I think if we had that many dogs, they would just get raw, like maybe on the weekend on special occasions. But for us,
Lauren, what is your opinion about kibble? What is your opinion about raw? What do you do? Have you ever done raw before? Is Lauren frozen?
yeah, I
If
think
she
so.
There it went. No,
Oh, there
all
it
of y'all froze for some reason.
We saw
it
you
fixed?
frozen. Yeah, it is. We see you now.
Oh, I know. Okay. You'll have to finish your question. What is my opinion about kibble?
Yes, about kibble, about raw, and what do you practice at home?
So I absolutely love the thought of feeding raw, but like Aria has the same issue. I have that issue. I have 15 dogs at the house, including the puppies at the moment. So it gets tough feeding all of them raw. It also gets expensive. I haven't figured out the cheat sheet to saving money on that and being able to afford it, honestly, because it's crazy. But we feed wholesomes. I specifically feed the sensitive skin and stomach salmon. And my reasoning for that is because we do have an American bully here and have had them in the past that are allergic to any of the chicken byproduct chicken meal. And the one that we still have, our big male, is also allergic to pea and pea protein. So this is literally the only food that I have found, and I've been feeding it for three years now straight. I can feed it to every dog that I have, from puppies. I actually start the puppies on it. You know, we blend it up and start it in their mush, all the way to our oldest dog, which is a 7-year-old border collie, and they all do really well on it. So it works out well for me at this point. Obviously, if I could do raw, sometimes I'll do raw. Like if it's deer season and stuff, and we're cleaning deer, you know, I give all the dogs the deer hooves and legs, the bottom half of all the deer legs. I give them some trimmings off of the ribs and stuff, but I certainly do straight kibble year round and raw as a treat when I can.
Sorry, I was opening the door for the dog. Yeah, it is. It has a lot of benefits, but it's very hard to do with a lot of dogs, and especially in the heat. But every time when I have some time, I will do raw, and I just freeze them in big gallon bags. I actually have a sealer, and I freeze it on a sealer bag, and I stack them, and it's really good. The only thing is, raw is not totally balanced. You know, if you want to have a complete diet. I talked to a vet that is a nutritionist specialist, and she said to me, it's very hard to balance a raw diet because each dog has different necessities. It's just like kibble, you know, some dogs will need different levels of nutrients. But the right way to do a raw diet would be to understand the levels of the dogs and the necessity of each individual. But in general, I love raw. If I could, I would do only raw. And New Vet Plus, it's the powder form, because New Vet is the product that I'm always promoting. Actually, if you want to buy New Vet, there's a link on my bio, and we do have 15% off on auto ship. For me, I only promote a product that I love and that I have tried and it worked. And for me and for all my clients, and my list of clients just keep growing because I am a authorized distributor. and it's a little powder that has a lot of minerals and nutrients that if you do raw diet, it will it helps out really well. So NuVet is NUVET.com, and then there's my code on the link that you can use for discount on auto ship. This is one of the products that I found that really helps, and I give my puppies since they're young, since they start on mush, especially for my reproduction active males and females, or mamas that are nursing. It's really good. And they also have a new joint, which is very good. Listen to this tip. New joint from NuVet that you can also buy with discount on my code. And I should leave my code here. This is the site. New joint, you guys. You can buy at the NuVet.com. Here, I just sent it on the comments while it's going. My internet is not very good today, I guess. There we go. It's on the comments. No, it's not. It's not letting me put the comments, I don't think. So anyways, it's on my bio in YouTube. I think I have it on Instagram too. If you have males and you want to enhance the quality of their swimmers, new joint is actually very good for reproduction for males. So every few months, I get new joint for the males only, independently if they need something for the joint or not. I do use new joint. I'm gonna write the product here, because if I try to put a link, YouTube won't let me do it. New joint, and
We do the new joint DS.
the DS is double strength. You can
Yes.
also use that one. I do like the DS, but the DS are wafers,
Yes,
and
they
the
are.
wafers, they get kind of tired of it. Not all
Yeah.
of my dogs like it. So
Break mine up.
yeah, you can also break it, but the normal new joint is powder, so they don't taste it. It actually tastes really good when you mix with the dog food or with the raw. And it is a very good supplement for enhancing the quality of the dog semen. Vito, what are your thoughts about raw and kibble?
I think raw is great if you got time, if you want to do it. I feed kibble now. I've fed everything. You know, I used to have 60 chickens. I used to give all my I couldn't eat all those eggs. So and no matter how many times people say, "Oh yeah, I want the eggs," they never come get them. But so I give them to my dogs raw. I used to have a concrete bowl in everybody's yard, and I just smash them in there and they'd eat them. But I don't have chickens anymore. But I'm thinking about getting them.
What
So-
about giving only raw? Like have you ever done it, or have you ever heard of your?
I have with certain dogs. I was on a kick where I was feeding those chicken leg quarters. I had a freezer out of my deck, but God, it's such a mess. And with American bulldogs, man, it causes knockdown, drag out fights. You just can't throw a chicken leg quarter in with two dogs. That with the dry kibble, my American bulldogs are fed. I have a 50-pound automatic feeder, and from the time they're young, the food's always there. So they're not. My dogs aren't heavy. My dogs are ripped, pretty muscular, tight dogs. So the food's always there. Right now, I feed food. I drive and go get it here in Missouri from a company called Everlast, and I guess I've been using it for 4 or 5 years. I used to order it with all these hog hunter friends of mine. They used it. It's like a sports mix. It's not like Old Roy's. It's not like that hollow, foamy, weird, strange dyed food. It's real tight, dry, and it's got a good sources of protein. But they use rice and sometimes old broken pasta or something like that. But it works. dogs do great on it, and I supplement them. Everybody gets eggs, you know. I also, when I train or just when I want to move dogs or get their attention, I feed them an exclusive hot dog from Aldi's. They're 99 cents a pack.
Right.
And Aldi's, I don't know if you guys have Aldi's. I guess Aldi's is everywhere.
Yes. I actually took my mom to Aldi's for the first time yesterday, and she loved it. I made a little video on my personal Instagram of her pulling the cart, and she loved it. And I said, Mom, I don't know why, but every elderly person loves Aldi. They're always here.
Yeah, I used to take that's how I started going. I'd take my dad, my mom, and but you know, Aldi's is a German company from Germany, and I don't know if you know anything about Germans, but Germans are like there's no such thing over there as any meat that they eat that has antibiotics, all the weird dyes, all the stuff that we approve, all the crappy processed crap. They don't really have it at Aldi's that much. I mean, it's not all organic, but it's all pretty. It's a big step up from what we can get normally at. I think they're the biggest chain. One brother owns Aldi's, and the other brother owns Trader Joe's. So all those are German companies, and I've been to Germany several times judging shows, and I don't know. They're more holistic. They don't buy chicken from the United States because we soak our chicken in, I forget what it is, they put in their bromine or something to preserve it longer. And they won't use anything that's GMO, any of that kind of stuff.
I think a lot of European countries are like that, because when we went to Ireland, they were the same way. You could go into any store and they had like fresh meat, fresh eggs, fresh pasta that they made daily without all the preservatives to keep it fresh. And you know what, it only lasted a couple of days, and then they would feed it to they'd take it to a farmer and then feed it to their pigs, and it was like they recycled everything. They made bread and bakeries everywhere. It was cool. Yeah.
First time I went to Germany, I was shocked. They all had like little tiny refrigerators. I'm like, where are you? So they go shopping like every other day in town there, and there's a bakery, a local bakery, and then there's every town has their own brewery and butcher shops everywhere. So, and I thought, oh, this can't be healthy. They're eating all these lunch meats and soft boiled eggs and bread and all this stuff, but it's fresh. Like the bread, you bring the bread home, you better eat it in a day or two, or it's not going to be like the bread we get that lasts a week or lasts 2 weeks, if you keep it in the plastic bag. So they're kind of like more organic, more natural. And I noticed about the second trip, when I was flying home on the plane, I thought to myself, man, I feel like really rested and real like detoxed. And I thought, I probably happy to go home, whatever. And then the next trip, same thing. I was there for 6 days. After 6 days, man, it was like I was detoxed. And they don't eat, they eat good, man. At the dog shows, they'd have these big barbecues. They'd have sausages and meat cooked, barbecued, all kinds of stuff.
I can't wait to take you guys to Brazil. It's almost the same way there. It's just even more like primary, I guess, because we do have a lot of farms and everything is less industrialized, I guess. You're going to really love the culinary there when we go. We're all going in August, you guys.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we
Right,
are.
Vito? Yes?
I wish I could.
You don't have any litters. You have to come with us, even if it's just for 3 days for the show.
I'm gonna have 2 litters probably by then, or maybe 3.
Well, we'll see. Let me continue reading the other questions. Here we have a lot of messages coming in. Bayside Kennels here. Congo new owner, Vitello and Nebula Papa. Yes, congratulations.
Hey.
Part of the Samba family, Bayside Kennels. Thank you for joining us and welcome. Welcome to the Samba family, and congratulations on Congo. Very good. When feeding raw, does a new vetting new joint DS help out a lot with the minerals and vitamins that they need? Yes, exactly. That's what I said before. It's very helpful and it's very important. Even if it's not new vet, some kind of well-balanced supplement. There's one that is really good, but we have to import it from Canada. It's called Origin. It's one of the nicest ones that I found after New Vet. But of course, I prefer New Vet because it's cheaper, it's easier to get here, and it works really well with my dogs. And they also have other products, accessible products for joint ligaments and growth, and even shampoo. I'm using the oatmeal shampoo for the first time from New Vet, and I
Really?
love it. Yes,
Huh.
it's really
It
nice.
smells great.
It does. Ernesto, hi Ernesto, how are you? How's your puppy doing? Raw, 100%. Yes, we agree. Farmer Forever says, Congo owner, I do a blend of both, raw and quality kibble. Very good. And I'm going to talk to you about this real quick. Quality kibble, when you say that, I'm sure that you're talking about a good brand, but if you are doing raw, I would highly recommend that you don't do a too high protein kibble, because then you're unbalancing everything. I honestly would prefer to just do raw or just do kibble because they digest better, and you don't unbalance the balanced kibble because it's formulated already balanced for the dog. But of course, a little bit of raw mixed with their kibble, just for the pleasure of seeing the dogs eating that blend. It's just, for me, just looking at them, because they love it. They absolutely love it a lot more. Um, as soon as the weather goes down a little bit and I have less puppies here, I'm going to start giving them the raw that I used to, because I grind them myself, and it makes it a lot cheaper if you have a good grinder. Another tip I want to give you guys: the grinder has to be 1.4 horsepower at least to be able to grind the bones, and that ground is really good for them. It has so many minerals in there, and so you want to be able to cut the chicken, or even if you have one that's a larger opening that you don't have, I have to be cutting the chicken, and that takes longer than actually grinding. So what I do, I had another one that the opening was bigger, but it was a $900 LEM. I don't know how you pronounce that, but that one was very dangerous. And thank God that thing burned in the first month. So I returned it with Amazon. I don't know, it started smoking. I returned with Amazon, and then I bought a cheaper one, but the opening is not as big. So now I have to cut the chicken leg quarters. Before I didn't really have to. I would just put it there. But if my finger goes in there, I'm screwed. So I have a safer one now, but I do have a little bit more work. Then I have to cut it in small pieces. And then I do the chicken, the leg quarter, which is only $6 at Walmart for 10 pounds.
We catch it here.
$5.95.
Yeah, every
Pardon?
now and then we'll catch it here at the grocery store. I think it was $4.99.
Yeah.
I bought 5 bags
10
of
pounds.
it. Yeah.
10 pounds.
Yeah.
10 pounds, it's about $6. And then what I do, I add carrots, I add broccoli. Sometimes I add sweet potato. And even if I have some greens, dark green veggies, just a little bit, green beans. What else? Fish. I've done it with fish too. I've done with just anything you can add in there that's good for them. Blueberries, apples. I've done a mix of a lot of things, and they love every time that there's raw. They love no matter what is in there, and just the fact that that you grind it yourself. It is a therapy. It is a therapy, but right now I don't have the time. I don't have the ways of doing it because I have too many dogs. If I had, and I used to do once a week, only on Sundays, I would do it for the whole week, and I would just pack it and put it in the freezer. It was really good. I just haven't had the time, but I hope that when the weather cools down a little bit, I can, maybe Lauren can come here and spend a day with me, and we're going to grind for my dogs and for her dogs.
Grind some meat.
Because then I have company, and it's going to be a fun day. We're probably going to be able to grind a lot together because we have a lot of things to talk about anyways. Every time she comes here, we just spend so much quality time together.
What do you know about? I read one day. I have never used it, never tried it because I've never had a dog and working out and stuff. But I heard that the greens, like spinach, is really good for muscle muscle, like when you're recouping, like
Repair.
muscle repair.
Repair.
And stuff. Yeah.
Yes, the spinach. I also like. I really like. What is it called? Liver, beef liver. But I do. I don't like to give that raw to them. I like to boil in water a little bit.
Yeah.
And then the other things from the chickens. What is it called? The ugly part that goes inside the gizzards. Yes, I put that in there too. It's
They
good for
say
them.
that. Yeah, there's places that'll sell like a big bushel of chicken hearts. I guess a lot of people feed the chicken hearts.
Yeah, I eat
never-
chicken hearts. We eat chicken hearts in Brazil is a thing. Like every churrasco place, every rodizio, which is like the Brazilian steakhouse where they serve the meat. Chicken hearts is like a thing in Brazil. The kids love it. They grill it and it's really good. I love it. I actually buy it here sometimes. Sometimes I give it to the dog. Sometimes I grill it and I'll eat it.
Right.
The Americans look at me and say, "Oh, gross." I love it.
Yeah, I'm like,
Look at this. Hello, Samba family. Greetings from Curaçao. Hello, Eu Sambo. That means that's his name. Is this your real name? Your real name? Because Eu Sambo in Portuguese means I samba. I samba. Like it's the verb to samba, the verb to dance samba. I sambo. Look at that. That's cute. Hello, Curaçao. Old school. Besides selective genetic bloodline breeding to produce muscular Brazilian bulls, what do you all feel about exercise techniques like tug of war rope, hill walking, flirt pole, weight pulling to bulk up? You want to talk about it, Vito?
I love it. I've been doing it for years. I have garage door springs that I hang from a lot of my big trees. And but with my American Bulldogs, I make it with a snap because I got to take the tug down off of it because I had a dog called Puma that I had. He was in a big yard up closer, and the tug was. I have a tug way in the back of my property, and he was so crazy for that thing. He crawled out of his yard, and I came home. I don't know how many hours he was on that thing, but his eyes were bulging out of his head. I could not get him off. I had to unhook it and carry a 95-pound dog like 4 acres to his yard. Wow. So then I put a snap on it to get him, so they just from there.
So he had a bite of it. He had a bite of it. He was just holding on to it.
Yeah, it's it's a heavy garage door spring, and so you can get 1 or 2 depending on how big your dogs are. And I make it so they can just get their front feet off the ground. I don't put it where they jump up in the air because a big dog, if they lose and land on their hips, they can crack a pelvis or do something like that. But I actually, the one in the back I have is on a crank, like a ratchet crank. Uh-huh. So I could start puppies on it and I crank it up. I just want to get their front feet off the ground, and you'll see that they can work out their neck, their shoulders, their rear, everything. And for bulldogs, that's a natural. Like if you watch, like my dogs, go on a hog hunt, you watch an American Bulldog catch, or a pit bull or any bulldog catch. That's what they do. They run in, grab a mouthful, and they pull back. A catch dog is supposed to hold them, and that's what they're pulling back. So it's kind of a natural thing. But I haven't got my Brazilians on them yet. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I think Elo has the drive maybe to do it, but they're goofy. But all they got to do is watch one of my American Bulldogs get on it, and it turns Bulldogs on. Once they get used to that feeling, they love it. And of course, I bought a new. I used to have a bunch of them, but I don't know. I gave them away or did something. The weight pull harnesses. I had one. It's probably big enough to fit Flex now. I need to start. I'm not going to compete, but I just like to do it to work them out. Not heavy weight, just just resistant. Half-mile out walk, half-mile back. So yeah, it's really cool to get into that stuff. It's fun. I'm not sure how because I don't think a lot of the Brazilian bulls are that prey driven or they don't have that much sporty drive. Really, the only ones I've seen are Puma and Klaus. Everybody else is like, you throw the ball and they're
Well,
like, hey,
you
throw
Teddy
it.
does.
hey,
All
what
of my
about
dogs
Tractor?
like it.
What about Tractor going after that cat?
Oh,
Yeah, that's the only time I saw him. I saw him on that video and I thought, whoa, look at him. He woke up. He's very
Dude,
athletic.
listen, now after that cat episode, now Tractor, he can't see anything moving. He's going to go after. Like his drive has completely changed.
Really?
You know, yeah, I think that the dogs, when they come here, especially because I bring them adults, it takes them, like I said, it takes them 6 months to a year to really understand that, that's their, usually 6 months is when they understand that this is their new environment, but it takes them about a year to actually start feeling dominant on their environment, because Tractor came and Klaus was always the alpha. But now they are to a level that Klaus and Tractor, he still respects Klaus, but now he imposes, because there's new dogs coming. He wants to show these new dogs that hey, my big brother there is the alpha, but I'm the second alpha here, So I think that builds up their confidence too, and building up confidence in their own environment as they are getting more and more confident. That's when they also get out of their little shells. I think that that there is timing for dogs to feel comfortable in a new environment. Mind you, guys, these dogs lived in other environments. They knew everything different, and then they came here. They have to adapt. They lose a lot of weight in the first few months. They adapt, and then it takes them a little while to recoup, and then start gaining weight, and then getting used to the pack. It's a big stress challenge for them, and but yeah, Tractor is completely changed. His drive is gone to the sky, and which is good, especially after girls are in heat. He's being really dominant of his girls.
Yeah, they say a lot of hill climbing. Vito probably knows this too. They say a lot of hill climbing is good, very, very good for the rear ends. You just walk them uphill, and then turn them around and walk them back down, and then you just kind of, as long as they'll do it. But it's natural weight, their natural weight, and then climbing. It's really, really great for their rear ends, is what I hear. But
I tried to walk with Flex. He's probably too little right now, but I ended up having to carry his ass all over the place. I thought, oh, he can do a mile. He can do a mile. No, he got about halfway through, and he's like, no, I just want to sit here. So I had to pick him and carry him. I'm like, geez, I really got my workout today.
yeah,
But we'll see.
hurry. Yeah.
I think I'm going to jump in on that. I think that that's something that needs to be pointed out to everybody. All of this exercise is great for your dogs, but you really need to pay attention to their age before you start doing things that are over the top for them. Because even my adult dogs, going 2 miles with them is a lot sometimes, especially depending on where you are in the heat. Puppies' bones are not meeting yet, and I think the Brazilian bulls, I think they close, correct me if I'm wrong, somewhere around 18 months.
Yeah.
So your dogs are not going to be ready for heavy exercise until they are grown, pretty much. People really need to realize that, because they can injure their dogs very early on, and you will never be able to do those things with your dogs.
Yeah, I agree. We got to be careful. The traction work, I think it's safer as long as it's very well supervised, but the jumping
in small doses until you
Always.
build. It's the same thing as us. I could not run a mile straight right now because I haven't done it in months. You know what I mean? I can't make myself go out and do that. There's a build up to it. And that definitely needs to be paid attention to while dogs are still young, because otherwise you're going to injure them, and then they're going to move funny, and then you can't show them, and you can't do weight pull or anything like that. It just needs to definitely be paid attention to.
Makes perfect sense.
Hey, another tip here that I want to give you guys. I just read Chris Gaiman talking about the nutrition. Raw all the way. I get some kibble when I run out. I have 20 dogs. I buy bulk from restaurant store. let's translate Restaurant Depot. I think that's the name, right? The restaurant store, the ones that sell for
Restaurants, yeah,
yeah,
like
like
big, like
Sam's Club, or that's where I used to buy too. I used to buy really like
Maybe
boxes
like
with
maybe
40 pounds.
Costco.
yeah, Costco, Sam's, and if
No,
you do,
no, it's called Restaurant Depot, if I'm not mistaken. It's the best price.
Yeah. Huh.
Restaurant Depot. They have, and I buy pumpkin there. We can buy those uh,
if you
6
guys have
things of.
friends that own restaurants or that has a restaurant or might be a manager of a restaurant, you know, you can go talk to them and ask them if they can order you like a 100-pound box of chicken quarters from Cisco or Benny Keith or something like that, and it's super super
That's a good
cheap.
idea too. That's a
Yeah,
good idea.
so you know
I
that's it.
went I went to every one of the restaurants here in town. I live in a very small town, an hour of Dallas, and I went to every restaurant, like Chinese restaurants, Mexican restaurants, asking if they would sell me the leftovers. But here in Texas is a law; they cannot do that. In Brazil, I would just collect all the leftovers and grind everything and make my own raw. But here they can't, because if something goes wrong, they're afraid of being sued. I guess that's what it is. They
Yeah.
can't do it. Um,
Have you
and it's
guys ever fed tripe?
We never have. Yeah, we never have. But when we were doing the German Shepherds, the lady that we knew, she fed a lot of tripe.
Ooh, it stinks.
Oh, like 15, 20 years ago, I sold a couple dogs to this guy that moved from Alaska to Tennessee, and he started this business. It was awesome because he'd sell me these big tubes of like ground raw chicken, beef, and then he had tripe with, I guess, beef in there too. Oh my gosh, my dogs loved it, but I opened that bag, I just started I almost threw up.
It's horrible. Oh. Yeah, we used to feed it to the German Shepherds, and Tony would clean it. And so he would clean it in the kitchen sink. And I came home the first time, I said, "Don't you ever do that again. You go outside and clean that. That stuff is so gross."
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Because that's the first thing I think they eat.
Mr. Bully saying here, I use tripe, but it smells like horse shit.
Horse shit smells good. I can't even describe it. Like if I get a whiff of that in my nose, I'll almost throw up. It's disgusting. But you think about it, wolves, that's the first thing they eat is the stomach.
Yes.
They say.
That must be that. Yeah, that's where everything's at, I guess.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I want to ask you guys to share this live. Everybody that's watching here right now, we have almost 30 people watching this live. Please share to one of your best friends as breeders or clients or anybody that think that will be interested in knowing, because I'm going to announce 2 very important things for the breed and for Samba Kennels towards the end, okay? And it's regarding the registration of Brazilian bulls with ABKC, especially if you want to migrate to Brazilian bulls and you have a dog that has American Bully registration. Please share this live, because we're going to be talking about it. I don't want to talk about it right now because I want to make sure that we have a lot of people here to share, so everybody understands what's going on. We have some news about the registration of Brazilian bulls with ABKC. It's official. It's a great opportunity if you have a half and half dog that has Brazilian bull ancestry. Please share the live, because I will be talking about it very soon, okay? And other things that I'm going to talk about later on is about everybody that wants to become a Samba Kennels branch outside of the United States. We have some news for you guys too, but later tonight, okay? Please stay tuned. Towards the end of the live, we're going to talk about the registration of the Brazilian bulls with ABKC, in case there's going to be a great opportunity for you guys to merge to Brazilian bulls if you have a dog. If you are one of my clients, or if you know somebody that has a Brazilian bull that's registered as American Bully and want to merge, please stay tuned. And also, everybody outside of the U.S. want to be a Samba branch, we are finalizing our protocols to announce our Samba worldwide movement. Okay, but that's later on. Please share the live and let's go back to the questions here so we don't lose focus. What do you guys think of Next Level Dog Food? I've heard of it, but I've never used it. Is that the one that was the Victor's owner? Victor's?
I've never used it either. I'm not
Taylor
familiar.
Tordy, is that the one that was owned by Victor's family? Please let me know, because I think that I've heard, if this is the one, it is supposed to be really good, but I'm not sure if it's the same one. Tyrone Rivera. Hi, Tyrone. He says, I have my boy on a full raw diet. Good for you. I appreciate that. I wish I could have all of them. So how many dogs do you feel comfortable with having? Enrique. Hey, Enrique, how are you doing? How's your girl doing? I feel comfortable having as many as I can comfortably feed, treat, give attention to. I don't think that, honestly, I used to hear a lot of people say, hey, quantity and quality cannot go together. That is not true. That is true for most people, but I've met many breeders, not only in bullies, but I've met breeders throughout my career that had other breeds, because I worked with the best breeders in the world when I did transporting. And I've seen kennels that were professional breeders, usually owned by very rich people, very invested people, and they had 60 dogs, and they were all treated like they were family dogs. They had the same attention as a kennel that has sometimes 5 dogs wouldn't do, so it's not about the quantity, it's about how much you can afford to maintain them at the highest level. So as long as you can, for me right now, I think I have too many. Right now I have too many. I have to lower down a little bit because I feel like I am lacking the space to have them comfortably. So if I can measure, how do I know that? It's not, for me, thank God, it's not about the money. I have everybody in good diet. I have everybody, taken care. If I have to pay a vet bill, stuff like that. But as soon as you see that you are giving away from one of your dogs or for all of them because you're making accounting, that means that it's too many, So how much can you comfortably provide? How many could you comfortably provide for all of them without hurting, the quality of their dogs? And it's not just about money. It's about space. It's about mainly availability of time. Are you available to take care of all these dogs? I stay here, I've been staying here night and day, and especially when we have litters, we have to stay night and day and provide for them. That more than anything, the time matters, because dogs, they need to be protected, they need shelter, they need good food, and they need water, and they need attention and love and socialization. So what is too much in my case, I think, is when you start not giving them the basics that they need. And of course, financially, you have to understand that finances is very important. If you can only provide well for 2 or 3 dogs, don't have more than 2 or 3 dogs. If you don't have the room for 10 dogs, why have 10 dogs? If you only have the room for 2 or 3 where they're going to be comfortable, have 2 or 3. That's how I feel. Do you agree, Tony and Dee?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think, the comfort of the dogs is a big importance, but I think even more than important is how much time do you have to provide for the dogs? Do you have a full-time job? Do you work 5 days a week, 7 days a week? Do you thankfully, Dee and I both work, but thankfully we could kind of, her hours are a little scattered and mine are too. So I work about a mile from the house. So she stays till around 10 o'clock. And then I take time from at lunch and come home and let them out and feed or water and feed it, if anything needs feeding. And then she comes back before she starts her other job. And so thankfully we have enough time between the two of us, to take care of them and give them what they need. But I think that's a big importance. You know, it just depends how much time do you have to give to the dogs where they're comfortable and like you said, you know, being able to afford them. I mean, you have lots of you could have vet bills and emergencies, and so whatever you feel comfortable with is. I don't think there's any right or wrong answer. It's just what you feel comfortable and what you could provide a healthy lifestyle for the dogs.
Yeah. And
I
it's
think-
not about luxury either, you know. Like I said, dogs don't need to have luxury. They just need a minimum comfort. But the time, the availability, I think it's more important than anything.
Yeah, really, in all honesty, I think people try to they baby their dogs. Dogs are simple creatures. All they want is to be with you, to be with their people. They want to please you. They want to be with you. They, you know, and so you just, if you can just show them a little attention, work with them. If you like showing, work, do some show training, or just play, throw the ball, or just sit with them and love on them. I mean, it's not that hard, but it can get overwhelming if you. You know, this breed, it's a beautiful breed, and I know it's sometimes you can get overwhelmed, get too many too fast, and you can get overwhelmed.
For sure.
So
What do you
be careful.
think, Guido? Quantity?
I've
Can
32
quantity and quality
years.
walk together? Can you have a high quality kennel with
Well,
60 dogs?
It depends on your goal. I started out, I lived in town. I had a big lot. You know, I had a suburban home with a big lot. I built a kennel on the side, and I probably had 9, 8, maybe 9 dogs by the time I moved. And then I moved out in the boondocks, and I probably went years where I had 26 to 32 dogs, and it's a lot of freaking work. And you know, no matter how, you know, especially if you're just 1, 2, 3 people, there's no way you can give your dog the attention of a pet. This is not going to happen. I mean, you got to eat, you got to go to the bathroom, you got to clean your own house, you got to drive somewhere. You know, if you have 25, 30 dogs, you're going to have like kennel type dogs. I never had kennels. I have big, huge yards that everybody runs in. And I put everybody in male, female, and they can run and play. And, you know, they have it's a little Shangri-La here, but they're not raised as pets. You know, they're not going to be a dog sleep on your, you know, some people think, oh, you know, your dog's, if it doesn't have couch time, you know, if it doesn't sleep on the couch 20 hours a day.
Oh my God. Yeah.
So
I mean, it's okay. It's also okay to have a couch dog, but it's not something that they need. I think that's more what we want from them, right?
Yes. Although we do have a couch dog, a couple of them.
I'm 62 and I've cut back big time. I got about 8 or 9 American Bulldogs, and now I have 4 Brazilians. And it's pretty easy compared to what I'm used to. But even they don't, you know, I remember when my mom was alive, I had bought a scratch off ticket or some blotter ticket or something. She said, oh, I guess if you want all that money, what would you do with your dogs? And I'm like, what do you mean? What would I do with my dogs? She said, well, you wouldn't have that many dogs, would you? I said, oh, no, I'd have like 3 times more. But I'd have a crew of people helping me. But at that time, my goal was to change, you know, create a bloodline and make huge changes to the breed, you know, as far as health and structure and movement and functionality and things like that. And you're really not going to make those kind of changes with 2 dogs or 3 dogs or 6 dogs. You gotta keep a lot of stuff.
I have another question here. What is the expectation, life expectancy of a Brazilian bull? Who wants to answer that one?
I have no idea. I know Bearzilla lived to what, 12?
12.
12.
Mostly, I mean, I've seen dogs. I've seen dogs living up to 12, 13 years old. You know, it has a lot to do with, I think, the care, how that dog was cared throughout the life, like any individual, like any breed. But I don't know, many times I think that they live pretty well because it's a new breed, and we still don't know too much about the main issues, the main health issues. That's why I insist on doing health testing in all of my dogs and understanding what the risks are. And for me, one of the most important things in these all of my imports before I brought them, yes, I care for hips, I care for for elbows and stuff like that, but the heart for me is the number one, because it is it's painful to see a dog die young. And I've seen a lot of dogs passing away because of cardiac, American bullies especially. So for me it was a big deal. And thank God all of my dogs are growing old. I have Hannah here, almost, I think she's 6.5, and she's healthy. And now I put her on. Oh, guys, Hannah is here. I took her out of the kennel one day so she would stay around on my back porch, just stay with us. And every time I try to take her to the kennel, she doesn't want to go. She wants to stay in the porch. And it's really hot there. And she's a dog that she's very fat. So she's one of my dogs that feel the heat the most. And honestly, she's very acclimated to the heat. She doesn't want to go in the. She loves to be in the AC, but she doesn't want to go back to the kennel. She wants to stay here near the house, like functioning dog. She wants to be guarding the door, and sometimes I give her treats, so she loves it because she's fat. She loves to eat, so I go there and I give her a treat, and she's just happy to be closer to us, But yeah, I think that they live average, I would say, around, if they're well taken care of, around 12 years old. Is there a reason why the Brazilian bulls can't register with ADBA or UKC? We just had the recognition of the breed itself in Brazil. And we chose, and when I say we, I'm talking on behalf of IBC, we chose to work with ABKC for the international recognition. We are, as of today, we have exclusivity with ABKC. So when the breed, meaning the American Bully Kennel Club opened the doors to the pit monsters at the time to come into the registry, because everything was very uncertain, the similarity of the breeds, for many reasons, they accepted. And then when we recognized the breed in Brazil and we decided to separate the breeds, because we were already working with ABKC, and ABKC is the main registry for the bull breeds in the world, and I tell you that 100%, we decided to work with them, not only for the door already open, for the good relationship that we had, but also because it is the biggest platform worldwide for the bull type of dogs. Honestly, ADBA, I don't think that it has the profile to accept the Brazilian bulls. UKC, I'm sure that as soon as the popularity grows, they're going to be asking us to work with them too, because it is a traditional entity. But the entities nowadays, they live off registrations, and that's how they make their money. And this is actually happening in Brazil. Our AKC in Brazil is now, our AKC in Brazil is called CBKC. They never respected the bulls community, because for them, we are all mutt breeders. All these new breeds, all the patterns, the merles, just like the American bullies, were always not recognized by AKC. It's always like a separate group. In Brazil, we have a separate group for pit bulls and for American bullies in the CBKC, which is FCI. FCI is equivalent to the AKC here. Now they saw the popularity, and I kind of blame myself a little bit. They saw the popularity of the breed of the Brazilian bulls abroad with the sales of shake, all these astronomical values of the puppies being sold, and the demand for these dogs all over the world. And this is a huge thermometer for everybody that wants to be a Brazilian bull breeder. In Brazil, the traditional registry, which is our equivalent to AKC, is now opening registration for Brazilian bulls. And that's something that we never imagined that would ever happen. And so this is what I say, popularity is what makes the breed grow. If there's no demand and if there's no popularity, if it's not a popular breed, if the people don't want to have it, if there's no buyers, the breed doesn't grow. This breed is growing so much that our AKC in Brazil is now trying to promote the Brazilian bulls as one of their breeds, is trying to bring people to register with them. And they also just had actually a dog show in Brazil. AKC of Brazil had a dog show of Brazilian bulls. The only thing is that we are still kind of going back and forth with them because they are not they don't want to acknowledge the name Brazilian bull. They want to say Brazilian monster bull, and we don't want to have that name monster ever promoted. So it's just politics, but I'm sure that ADBA, I don't think it will ever happen. UKC, maybe. But honestly, for me, the parent registry is IBC. It is the main registry of the breed. It is the registry that visioned the pit monsters, that put together a standard, that put together the breeders to vote for the name, and that went after the recognition, international recognition. So why work with anybody else, And ABKC is the biggest platform that opened the door for us first. And we're going to be talking about some big, huge news on the ABKC Brazilian Bull registration. They opened a short time waiver. I don't know if the waiver is the word. Guys, help me out. A short time
window of opportunity.
For everybody that wants to breed Brazilian bulls and has Brazilian bull blood. Okay, even if it's just one dog. So please stay tuned. If you know anybody that has a dog from any one of my dogs, any clients that bought puppies from me or from my partners or from Sumo, from Cerberus, from TMK, please tell them to tune into this live, because I'm going to give you guys great news at the end of the live. And that's it. But we never know. You never know. They might come after them and say, hey, we want to work with you. We want to promote the breed. And we're just happy that we have the Brazilian bulls growing here. And it's going to grow a lot more after I give you guys the news. Any Brazilian bulls that are registered as bully or bullies with Brazilian blood register also in UKC? No, because that's what I just said. They don't have that yet. Oh, UKC, none that I know of.
They'll accept them as American bullies, which is, I think, what that person is saying, whoever posted that.
Well, as long as comes from ABKC as American bully.
Right, as an American bully.
So
but
if
not as a Brazilian bull. UKC will not accept Brazilian bulls. They don't have that option yet.
Yeah. So if I took Klaus, for example, because he was one American bully registered dog, and I wanted to register them through UKC, I could. But I have absolutely no intention of doing that. And I won't do that.
ADBA, they don't register American bullies, do they? ADBA?
No, I think they're just pit bulls. Am I wrong?
Pit bulls, and then they made a new category for all the pit bulls that were outcrossed in the 80s to Mastiff to make weight pull dogs. And they call them American Pit Bulldogs. Or working American. bulldogs.
Hold on.
Hey, one of a kind. Hello. I hope everybody had a wonderful day. Likewise, my friend.
Is ADBA not an all breed registry?
I'm not sure.
It stands for American Dog Breeders Association. It's not. I don't think that they're specific. I'm looking to see, but
I don't remember. I know they are the biggest
They
one.
register other stuff, but they're mainly known for the game bred American Pit Bull community.
Right. That's where the
Use
pits
them.
used to be really big, or big registry, however you want to say that. But
Ernesto said raw is just the way to go. It is biologically correct. Food dogs are carnivorous creatures, predators out in the wild, and opportunists herbivorous. Yes, raw, barf. Thanks, Ernesto, for that. Yeah, I think ADBA is the most, at least, most functional American Pit Bull Terrier breeders. They go with ADBA.
Never even heard of it.
Because you see, the traditional ones.
Old registry, very old. And it was basically started for the game bred American Pit Bull Terrier. I've been to some of their shows. They're fun. Okay. I've been to their shows and I've had people, it's funny because I've had people look at videos and like, what kind of dog is that? I'm like, that's a game bred Pit Bull. They're like, oh no, they're supposed to be heavy boned and short. I'm like, no, they're not.
That's funny.
Meat grinder will be your best friend. Yes. Okay, guys, if you have any questions regarding, we talked already some about nutrition, we talked about exercise, we talked about the registrations. I will talk about ABKC Brazilian Bulls, a short window that we're gonna have an opportunity to have Brazilian Bulls registered dogs. And we'll also talk about an opportunity for you guys that are not in the country. Share this live. If you want to become a Samba Kennels branch outside of America, we are working on something very special for you. Share this live, everyone. And I will talk about it in a little bit. I want to read one more comment here from YouTube. And everyone on Instagram, if you have a question, I would prefer that you go to YouTube and ask us there. This way I can communicate with you better.
So they do. I guess ADBA does.
It says, in addition to registering pits, they register all breeds recognized by UKC and AKC. I know that they did the American Bully because back when the American Bully first became a thing, we had ADBA registered pit bulls, but they were bullies, and they sent us the paperwork to change them over once they decided to make the American Bully a different breed. But it does say that they do anything accepted by UKC and AKC. So they are an all breed registry as long as you have those other registries for your dogs.
I know the Whopper Chevy bloodline, that guy, Eddie Eddington, like I said, he was like the guru of weight pull pit bulls. And they registered his dogs off a Whopper for years. And people complained. And for a while they were calling them Oklahoma Bulldogs and all this stuff. Because Whopper was a Dog de Bordeaux American Bulldog cross, and then he took that dog and bred it to his weight pull dogs to make that. So I know of Whopper. I don't know what the big Camelot dogs or what Dagger or all the other big XL pit bulls that aren't American bullies. I don't know what they are, but obviously they're pit bull and something big. Because pit bulls, you don't breed 120-pound pit bulls.
Okay, guys, let's talk about Brazilian Bulls registration. I would love to give you some news. I have somebody here asking me So if Shake had puppies to a ABKC registered female, can the pups be ABKC registered? Okay, let's organize the ideas here. Everybody's very confused about ABKC and IBC. Every dog, the question is not ABKC, the question is Brazilian Bull registered, okay? So if Shake had puppies to a BKC American Bully registered females, can the puppies be registered American Bullies? Yes. Now, if Shake had puppies to an ABKC Brazilian Bull registered females, can the puppies be ABKC registered? No. As of right now, no. Okay. The reason is ABKC will not allow the mixing of the two breeds. Now, I brought to the attention that I will not be all of my studs that you see here on the picture, all of them are, with exception of Chuck Norris. Sorry, Chuck. Sorry, Chuck. Chuck is an American Bully XL. Now, all the other ones are Brazilian Bulls. They were born Brazilian Bulls. All of them were born in Brazil, with exception of Puma and Sultan, but they are Brazilian Bulls, mostly Brazilian Bulls blood in the case of Sultan. So I'm just going to use my dogs to make it more fair and easy for you guys to understand. These dogs are genetically Brazilian Bulls. Klaus, before he came here, he was a pit monster, meaning he was a Brazilian Bull. Mandíbula was and is already registered Brazilian Bull. Shake was already a pit monster, meaning he was a Brazilian Bull before he came here. He bred in Brazil. All of Shake's puppies in Brazil are Brazilian Bulls. So are Klaus's puppies, so are Tractor's puppies. So, being one of the main representatives of the Brazilian Bull breed, us as a brand, as a kennel that believe in preserving the Brazilian Bull traits, we also believe that we should not be anymore mixing the two bloodlines or the two gene pools. So I choose to not let my stud dogs produce American Bully registered puppies anymore, just because the fact that they were grandfathered in, and we are extremely grateful for the opportunity that was opened to us. Like I always say, this opportunity was given at a time that nobody really knew 5 years ago what this was going to become. There wasn't really a breed recognition, not even in Brazil. I mean, they had a standard, they had rules, they had a name, but mind you, the name we had to change because it wasn't really a name, it was a nickname. You don't call a breed a pit monster. It was a nickname, a loving nickname for these big monster looking dogs that are sweet in their hearts. The standard was there was shows and everything, but the breed actually became a recognized and official breed once we united the standards, because there were little registries that worked with IBC, and each one of them had differences in the standard, just a little bit here and there. So they had a meeting, and the board of directors of IBC and these other entities, they sat together and they say, let's put together one standard for the Brazilian Bulls or for this breed. And also let's get a voting system where we can vote with all the breeders in Brazil and see which name that they want to choose. So let's have a few options, and even the breeders gave the options. So we had Colossal Bulls, We had Brazilian Colossal, and everybody hated that word Colossal. But I use one that I remember. We had Brazilian Bully, which was my favorite, but that didn't win because in Brazil, bully for them, bully means smaller dogs in Brazil. They understand that it's a pocket, because they didn't relate the word bully to what the pit monsters were. So at the end of the day, just a long story short, they came up with a voting system. Everybody voted. We had more than 500 breeders from all these 5 registries voting. It was a unique voting system, so everybody had to put their social security number to log into their system to be able to vote, which is very common in Brazil. Don't get scared. I know here social security social security numbers are very protected. In Brazil, it's something that we use to log in, just like our email. It's not a big deal because it's very hard for you to steal somebody's identity just knowing their social over there. So everyone could vote only once, which made the voting system very legit. And we had more than 60 something percent of Brazilian bulls, the name Brazilian bull voted. So it was a legit voting, and they formalized the standard. And IBC decided to, through my person and another couple of people that are connected to ABKC here in America, petition for a recognition of the breed. But in the meantime, we already had dogs from Brazil that were registered as American bullies, like the ones that you guys know very well, like Klaus and Tractor and Shake. And this way, ABKC was very happy to finally have a way to put these dogs into their own place. Because mind you, remember at that time, a lot of purists of the American XL bullies were mad because these dogs were coming into the gene pool for whatever reason. And they were asking for the separation anyways. And we in Brazil, people from Brazil really wanted to separate because there they already knew that they were different from the XLs. The vision was different. The results were different. Maybe they used the same ingredients, but when you give the same ingredients to a chef in Japan and you give the same ingredients to a chef in Mexico, they're going to use different techniques. They're going to have different tastes, and they're going to come up with different results. It's the same thing in Brazil. We had the same base as the XL American bullies. We had some of the same, even the same individuals of the XL American bullies. But 20 years later, you have a different territory, you have a different tradition, you have different vision, you have a different culture, and even different habits, different climate. Things get adapted differently. So here in America, the XL bullies grew in a different direction than the Brazilian bulls in Brazil, with the same ingredients. Yes, we did have the same ingredients, but we formed a different breed. And this is how every breed was formed at the end of the day. Everybody came from the wolves, and we have Frenchies and we have Great Danes, so that's how breeds are formed. Sometimes with the same dogs, with the same genetics back then. But what makes a breed is not just the genes, it's the results along the way, the vision, like I said, the culture anyways. So it was a different breed. It became a different breed. And also the acceptance of the market for this breed became huge, as you guys probably know. All this success that we had since I brought Klaus and since Shake was sold for 180K and then a month later for 300K, so and And that was just one of the success cases that we talk about, because he was the biggest one. We're not even talking about everything that I know in the backstage that I don't even bring it here, you know. But anyways, now that we have finally gotten the breed accepted, I highly believe that we have to keep the Brazilian bulls within the same type. And if we start mixing, and I already did that, I swear to God, I feel terrible because I did that a lot. But it wasn't because I want to, it's not something that I even really knew what I was doing by mixing them with the American bullies. It was an opportunity that I had to bring them here that back then we didn't really know. But now that I know that this is what I want to breed, you know, since about a year and a half ago, that we decided, let's separate the breed. And now I say, I am going to stick with the Brazilian bulls. This is my lane. If you want to do the same, if you believe that mixing the American bully to the Brazilian bulls is not going to give you better results than just breeding Brazilian bulls themselves, ABKC opened an opportunity for you to register your puppy with them through a, of course, it's upon analysis. They're going to analyze each one of the cases, but they have their rules. And one of them is it has to have Brazilian bull. It has to have Brazilian bull genes and ancestry, you know, in the first generation. So if you have a puppy that has Brazilian bull ancestry, if it's a son of Tractor, of Klaus, of Puma, or any of the Brazilian dogs that are there from other breeders, from Lavons, and that dog has no offspring, you can, until July 1st, send an email to ABKC, make sure, double check with them all the rules, and you can apply to have that dog changed to the Brazilian bull. Now, what I highly suggest, you have to have common sense. If your dog looks more like an XL bully, don't do it. Keep it bully. Keep it in the American bully lane. Now, if you have a dog that has more, you know, if you have a dog that's half and half, and he was registered as an American bully, and you have the papers American bully, that dog has no offspring, and it has the Brazilian traits. It has, you know, tighter skin. It has big head, big masseters, and you would love to transfer that dog to Brazilian bull. This is the opportunity that ABKC gave us until July. I think July 1st or July 15th. I'm not sure. But remember, July 1st.
Yes.
Send them an email, office@abkc.net, I think. Send them an email and say, hey, I would like to see if my dog qualifies to be a Brazilian bull. And this way, we are pushing the breed. We are moving away this mixed breed from the American Bully XLs, like people hated us so much for being in there. So now, my purist haters, you don't have to worry about us anymore. So long. I'll see you in the Best in Show competition. So I'm just kidding. You know, I'm very grateful for being part of it, but I just figured out that my lane is the Brazilian bulls. This is what I love. This is what I know. This is what I do. And this is what I want to follow. And so my dogs are not going to be bred to American Bully litters anymore, unless the ones that I have contract with, of course, that are prior to this announcement. I know it sounds a little bit confusing, but basically this is not for everybody watching, because I'm sure that a lot of you guys don't qualify. But if you do have a son or a daughter of any of my dogs, or any of the dogs that are Brazilian, even if they are American Bully registered, but they were grandfathered in, and you want to switch them to Brazilian Bull, now is the time. ABKC is giving us this opportunity on a very And we are very thankful for that, because it is what they are. They are doing the right thing for the Brazilian bulls, because that's what they are, but they're also doing the right thing for the American bully. And I'm sure that hats off to Dave Wilson for giving us the opportunity and doing the best thing for both breeds, keeping the American bully exclusive and pure, and separating from these dogs. Any questions, please let us know. Let me see if I have any questions that I can read here on Instagram. Okay. Somebody's asking me if we're looking for a calm. If we are looking for a calm family dog, that would be a pet only family dog. Is there a male or female that you recommend? Oh, I think that these dogs, it's not about the gender, because you can have males that are hyper, you can have females that are more hyper, and you can have the calm ones too. I think it's more about the individual, finding the right breeder, talking to the breeder to understand what they have available and what are the traits of each individual. There are calmer dogs and that can be males or females. It's more about what you want. Do you want a male that's going to be more dominant in the house and the territory, or do you want to have a female that's more? Usually females are very loving, and they mature easier, faster, in this breed. But I don't know. I am biased. Greetings from Australia.
I think almost any of them can be good. If you can't handle a Brazilian bull, I think you need to get a stuffed animal.
Yes, Joseph.
They're so sweet. They're so easy. I just don't see. They don't have the dominant issues. They're not high drive. They're just fun, vegged out. Sweet.
He corrected his question here. Sorry, I meant the sire and the female from your kennel are their dogs of yours that have a more calm temperament. I think my males are calmer than my females. I mean, I don't know.
I'll agree with that.
Do you agree with that?
Yes, our male dogs are much more laid back, calm.
They're more laid back.
Yeah, I believe that.
So guys, that's it. Sorry, Vito. Go ahead.
All my girls are easy. They all every Brazilian dog I've met, I haven't really seen any that I think. I breed American Bulldogs, so I get people, I have to interview, and they're just not a dog for people that want a couch potato and just want to go to the dog park and socialize with the suburban people. They're not usually. They can be. All dogs can be fit in, but they tend to be a little more drivey and have a little more dominance. But I haven't seen any Brazilian bulls that I would think, I wouldn't. I'd make sure that goes to somebody who really knows what they're doing. But they're pretty easy. I would think they fit into a family situation pretty easy.
Yeah.
I think in the kennel environment, my dogs are all hyper. If they see a cat or if they hear noises, they're all hyper. But when I bring them inside, or if I'm playing with them, they are super, super easygoing. Sorry, Tony, you're gonna say something.
No, I was just gonna say I think that they took the time and did their research and stuff to breed specifically for that. I feel for the temperament. They use certain dogs where they started the breed, and I think that was a big deal for them, was the temperament. They knew they were going to be family dogs, and that's kind of what they bred them for, just companions. And as of now, I wouldn't have another dog, another breed. Not saying there's not breeds just the same, as just as good, but they're loving, they're caring, they can be protective. I'm not going to say they're when I say protective, they just watch. They watch their family. They watch over them. Uh, but I mean, they'll just roll over on their back and have 14 kids rubbing on their belly. I mean, I think they took the time and research to breed that into them. I think
Good temperament.
good temperament.
Sorry, going back to the registration, Chris Gaming said I emailed the ABKC to see if I should send in her American paperwork or if they will send me over something to change her before. No, you have to send the paperwork, a picture of the paperwork and or the number at least, and request for them to analyze if she meets the criteria, okay? Compound, Gatekeeper Kennels, Edward, Wellington de la Cruz, 5150. Okay, guys, and this is it. This is the big news about the Brazilian bulls. So if you know anybody that would be interested in having their dogs, especially the ones that are, looking like a Brazilian dog and they have the Brazilian looks moved over, like, or if you have a dog that is 75%, and why am I explaining this to everybody? Maybe it's confusing for you if you're not involved with the Brazilian bulls community, but just so you understand, I have dogs that were registered as American Bully, females and males, and I bred them, but they are Brazilian dogs. They are Brazilian bulls, but I bred them together and I registered them here, and they were registered as American Bully because father and mother in ABKC are American Bully. So I petitioned to ABKC to have these dogs registered as Brazilian bulls. Why? Because they are Brazilian bulls. They look like Brazilian bulls. Their genes are Brazilian bulls. Both parents were Brazilian bulls before they came here. So why not be able to register as Brazilian bulls? But very important detail, they accepted, within this window, we're going to be able to do it. So for example, all of my puppies from Sheikh and Bucanas, they are going to be transferred to Brazilian Bull. So all of my clients watching, if you have a Sheikh and Bucanas son or daughter, or if you have a Tractor and Hannah son or daughter, okay? Or if you have a Puma Puma and Knuckles, they are already Brazilian Bull registered. All of my Tractor and Tetra puppies are going to be Brazilian Bull registered. And this is my criteria, as long as they are Brazilian Bull phenotype and they have the genetics. That was my criteria to petition that, and thank God, thank you, ABKC, for accepting this. I know it's challenging, there's a lot of controversy, but it is the right thing for us to do, not only for the Brazilian Bull, but also for the American Bully. Yes, she came off of Hershey and Tractor. There you go. I just haven't sent her papers yet, being busy. So Hershey is 50-50 and Tractor is 100% Brazilian Bull. That's a 2/3 Brazilian Bull, and she qualifies as long as she has no babies, which she doesn't because she's a baby herself. But I love your dedication and knowledge. It shows your passion as a quality breeder. Well, thank you so much. This is what we try to do around here, and showing everybody what, being a good role model for the breed and for the breeders. It's my main goal here. Sharing information, knowledge, networking, and also making sure that the Brazilian Bulls are putting the standard that, in the spotlight, that they deserve. Another thing, guys, if you are watching outside of the USA, Samba Kennels Worldwide is a project that we have been working on for some time now. We're putting together all the guidelines, but I'm going to start selecting some kennels. I will, if you want to contact me, I please ask you to contact me through email, contact@sambakennels.com, the email that's here it's running here on the screen. And we'll go from there. I'm going to send you a questionnaire to start the application form. There will be a fee, of course. It's a branding license agreement that we're going to do. You're going to be a Samba Kennels outside of the US. There's going to be guidelines. There's going to be a strict selection. I need to understand your motivation. I need to understand what your goals are. I also need to understand the facility, what you can provide, how many dogs you can have. But the great thing is that we are not only providing the brand, we are also going to provide the tools for you to work with. So if you purchase a license, you're also getting dogs to you, included in the fee. Now, if it's going to be an adult or a puppy or a pregnant female, so you start already, your program right away. Of course, the tiers will change the values of investment, but that's my main goal, not only to provide you with the brand and the mentorship, but also provide you with Brazilian bulls to start the program, because we want to make sure that I don't want to just qualify any kennel and with the dogs that you have just because of money. I would never do that. I want to make sure that you're not only a Samba Kennels branch, you're with us, with our vision, and you are also with the same quality dogs that we have here, because we want to bring the best quality dogs to every country in the world. And my goal is to open at least 5 to 10 in the first year within multiple continents. Last time that I announced this, I announced for only 24 hours in my stories, and I had 18 applications or 18 contact inquiries from, I can remember here, from South Africa, New Zealand, Australia, Germany, France, Switzerland, Russia, Japan, and Ghana, and somewhere in in the Caribbean. I don't know if it was Bahamas, Curacao, or Trinidad and Tobago. We had a lot of people, and multiple people from same countries. I think we had 2 or 3 from New Zealand, 3 or 4 from Australia. And my friend Lauren, my dear Lauren, she will be my right hand organizing and talking to you guys, and we're going to be talking more about this project. And mainly, I want you to understand that this is an opportunity for very dedicated people. It's not just, like I said, it's about promoting the breed worldwide. This is why it's called Samba Movement, Worldwide Movement. I want to provide the opportunity for breeders that sometimes don't have the platform, don't have the ways of promoting these dogs. So now, being part of the Samba family, Samba Kennels, you will have it. But like I said, there's a price to everything, but you're going to have the whole package. You're going to have the mentorship, you're going to have the protocols, and you're going to have the dogs, which is the most important thing. Because I cannot, like I said, if you have dogs that don't fit my vision, how can I make you a Samba Kennels? So that's it. This is going to be a long process. It's not overnight, but it's the first time that I actually come up here with a little bit more of details, and me and Lauren and the rest of the Samba families will help me with the decisions. And we're also going to have corporate prospect information on a packet to show you, because I want to make everything professional, and I want to make sure that you get also the return of your investment in your country. And if you're going to be the first person to breed Brazilian bulls in your country, I'm going to make sure that you're also going to be the best one. Okay. And provide to new breeders to start the movement over there to new breeders, because there's a huge demand, and I'm very positive of everything that I'm doing. I believe in everything that I've already done. I've always believed in everything, and I never imagined in my life that I would be here talking to you one day and providing this. But this is my goal for the end of 2026. And having the beautiful Samba family here with me gave me the strength and I think the gas that I needed to make this work. And this is going to benefit a lot of people all over the world. And I can't wait. And maybe we'll be visiting every one of you to make sure that, we're going to be signing the contract in person instead of DocuSign. That's what I want to do. And I'm going to have each one of you guys, Tony and Didi, Vito and Lauren, you're gonna be taking care of each continent. So I think Vito is gonna take care of parts of countries in Europe, and I can divide Europe with you and Didi. Lauren, I can send her to Asia, and so she can visit her son there in Japan. And no, I'm just kidding. We're still studying everything, but this is going to be amazing. And Samba Kennels is not just a kennel. This is a movement. This is the Brazilian bull expansion all over the world. And what else can I say? I cannot thank you guys enough for being here, supporting this movement. And this is a way that I found to help, to provide for the cynophilia that I always talk about so much, for the lovers of dogs, and for you that has a passion for these dogs and want to start something new and make something out of this passion, like I did so many years ago. And maybe you're going to be the next Samba Kennels, on this breed. So, guys, it's been an hour and 51 minutes. I would love to read a few more answers here, questions here that I have, or messages. Ernesto, let's give it up to Aurea Mama Samba. Bravo. Thank you. I'm going to cry. Thank you so much. It would be a dream to have Samba here in Australia. Thank you, Archetype. Hey, guys, everyone, go follow Archetype Bullies in Australia. Thank you for your support. And Samba New Zealand. Thank you. You're so ugly. Yes, we have a lot of people from New Zealand reaching out to us. The only problem with Australia and New Zealand is the export of the dogs. It's not a problem, but just so you know, the process is going to be the longest one. But I know that we're going to have Samba Kennels in Australia and New Zealand because we do have a lot of inquiries. And we have a lot of females that I've been saving for this project, adult females, because my goal is to maybe send some of my females pregnant from, Mandibula, from Shake, from Klaus, from Tractor, from Puma, and you already have a start of, you don't have to wait with puppies. Having puppies is also going to be a possibility, but I think that the value in all of this is not just the dogs, but it's the mentorship that I'm going to be providing, not only me, but the whole Samba family. You're going to have your own consultant. If you can't talk to me directly all the time, like I said, Lauren is going to be representing Samba Kennels in some areas. So will Vito, and so will Tony and Didi. They didn't even know that. I just gave them that role. But it's going to be amazing, guys. Any thoughts, Vito?
No. I'm just excited. Can't wait to have a litter.
Hey, thank you, Vito. Just sorry, I just read the name here, Jackie Rivera. Jackie Rivera is the mama of Nova, and Nova is Smoke and Mona Lisa and Connor's littermate sister and Millie's.
Oh, nice.
So, Jackie, please contact me if you want to transfer Nova to Brazilian Bull. She is the pied girl that looks like Becca. And I believe that if you want, I will help you personally because she needs to be a Brazilian Bull. She has absolutely all the traits of a Brazilian Bull. Mm-hmm. And I would love to register as Brazilian Bull. And mind you, this is something that I forgot to say. If you change it to Brazilian Bull, you cannot change it back to American Bully. This is a all for forever decision, okay? But again, if you change her to Brazilian Bull, we're going to start showing her in the show ring, and she's going to win everything because these dogs this litter was amazing, Thank you for these weekly videos. I learn something new every time. Thank you so much. Chris says, I see y'all in D-Town in October. We'll be there. And Treasure Peace Kennels. On the banner, is that Chuck Norris to the far left? Yes, it is. He's the one right here. How do I do this on my finger? Doesn't disappear. There, this is Chuck. Yes, this is my boy, Chuck. He's the only American bully that I have, and he's my first one, and he is just absolutely amazing. He lives with my son today. My son lives by himself, and he wanted a dog, and Chuck always loved him, and vice versa. They always got along really well. So he said, can I have Chuck Norris? And I said, okay, go. And they are super happy together. But he's almost like my grandson. Every time my son comes here and he brings him. And Chuck just has a blast, you know. He loves being here, visiting Grandma.
Nice, nice.
Yes. So, yes, guys, I'm going to close this live. If you have any questions and you want to text us, I would love to help out. Like I said, there are requirements. I don't know the requirements off, my head, but I would appreciate if you can just email, but it has to be at least 50% a Brazilian dog. Please don't send your American bully and think that they're going to change it to Brazilian bull, because they're not. It has to be at least 50%, no offsprings, and they will guide you in what to do. Okay. For now, I will leave you all tonight with a beautiful hug from Samba Mama Samba for you, and with my family here. Do you guys have anything to say before we close this live, Lauren?
No, just that it was good to be here with everybody. I hope that we answered some questions. We are always open to more. If people come up with them, they just shoot us a message.
Thank you, Lauren. Somebody's asking me, sorry, how can we contact you directly to discuss this opportunity? Through the email contact@sambakennels.com. Okay, it's the email that says here on my website. The website is sambakennels.com. You just add the contact, and you can text me, or you can also text me on Instagram. I don't like talking business on Instagram, you guys. I usually send a little message with my contact details, because Instagram is a little picky about talking business. So please don't ask me information about prices and stuff. We have to respect their policies. Sorry, Tony. Were you going to say something, Tony?
No, I was just going to say, as always, every week, thank you guys for being here with us, and we surely appreciate it. And just want to wish you guys all a good night, and we'll see you next week.
Didi?
Yes, same thing. Thanks for joining in and all the questions. I learn a lot too by your questions, so I appreciate that.
Yes, we all do.
Mm-hmm.
Is Ryan there, Lauren?
No, he's inside. We've got people over hanging out with Devin. So
say goodbye to Devin. I hope he has a great trip back, and goodbye to Ryan, even though he's not here. Hey, Vito, any final words for us?
No, not really. I was just thinking about that raw. We're talking about raw. I tried feeding beaver. It's a greasy. I have a guy who lives down the road from me who traps beavers here in Missouri, and that was almost as bad as tripe. They're kind of a greasy carcass. The dogs loved it, especially the tail.
Huh.
Never heard of it.
That's why they all chew on sticks and everything else. They're part beavers.
Yeah.
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 Amazing.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
again, guys, thank you so much for joining and joining us on this live. Share this live for somebody that might be interested in this topic, and especially about the registration, because we do have a very short deadline, and we'll talk to you very soon. Okay? Love y'all.
Have you
I'm gonna
guys?
put the music. We'll
Let's hear
put
a
some
song.
music to finish, okay?
You got to put on song number 56.
No,
Yeah.
number 129 actually.
We need a classic. We need a classic one now.
Yes, like an opera type.
Yeah,
No, let's skip the opera.
Chopin, like Chopin.
Chopin. Oh yes, did you guys see Chopin? A tractor son. He looks so much like him. He's gonna be a show dog. That one, I love him.
Golden leaves, Texas breeze, Summerland feels like a movie scene. Morning
guys.
sun on
All
velvet
right, love you guys.
big heart dogs and pretty souls. We don't chase, we create, turn dreams into destiny. From Brazil to the States, everybody watching me. Samba Kennels, oh, watch these legends steal the show. Oh, Samba land, let it shine. One Samba life, one Samba time. Samba Kennels, made for more. Hear the world knocking at the door. Oh, from Brazil to USA, Samba made the runway. Clothes, tractor, the heavy frame, Buchanan's beauty with the flame. Then she came, lights went wild. Whole new wave, whole new style. Ooh, we talk, we prove, every step is history. Big dreams, big move, now the world remembers me. Samba Kennels.